This is the Ridiculously Amazing Insurance Agent podcast hosted by me, Kelly Donahue-Piro. This show is for growing agencies looking to maximize their biggest investment, their people. We mash up our 3-minute videos from the previous week, all with tips on how to be ridiculously amazing at insurance sales, retention, processes, marketing, running in an agency, and time management. If you want them daily, like us on social media as they're posted. But let's get started. So everyone, end of another week, and this was the week where we went deep into what questions do we need to ask to set our sale up for success. So we have a strong belief that we should be selling from the point, selling from the point that we meet a new customer and be impressive, unlike sneezing like I just did. So in this, we go through 4 questions you need to be asking to set your sale up for success. And all too often we find agents are quoting, taking out the quote sheet and interrogating with year, make, model, all of that first, as opposed to setting the stage to get a full picture of the sale and what we're looking to accomplish. So we hope that you enjoy these 4 videos with very specific questions. And we encourage you to have your team watch them and build this into your sales process. We know that agencies with sales processes thrive. And that's why it's important to say, what questions do we ask before? What underwriting questions do we ask? And how do we present our sale? And so we're really starting at the beginning phase. Just so you know, all of this is included in our Apex sales program and our agency performance pack. You'll hear a little bit more about this, but we're just launching this week our new revamped time management program in our online school. And I'm just ready for agencies to move from busy to productive and give you time management savings tips like these 4 sales questions. Honestly, if we can sell more at the point of sale, reduce rejections and objections, we're going to speed everybody up. We're not going to find hours in a day, but we can certainly shave off minutes and follow-ups and speed up the processes if we're all intentional about it. And that's why these 4 sales questions are a great starting point. So I can stop talking. Let's go dive into that first video. So let me give you a little intro to question number 1. Question number 1 is our crack and open cross-selling question, which is, do you have any other policies with other agents? And I love this because it's so broad-based. It's not, can I quote your home and auto? There's a multi-policy discount. We're not speaking at the client. We're asking a very objective question to understand their full portfolio and say, well, they've got all these policies. Let's bring it over. For example, for me, you might think I'm only quoting my home and auto, but I've got 16 policies we could have a conversation about. And so when you know it, you can create a plan for the client. So let's dive into how to ask that key question and where it needs to go in your sales process to see the most success. Hi, everyone. It's Kelly Donahue-Piro here for another week of 3-minute videos. And this week, we've decided to actually focus on 4 questions you should be asking on every new business sale in insurance. And I can't wait for these because we see so often that people quote and then sell. And that's a great way to feel very used car salesman-y. Or we just quote and we email the quote and we never really know where we stand. And we definitely want to fix that through this 4 questions. So the first question that I love asking people is, do you have any other policies with other agents? And the reason I love that is we sometimes get so tunnel vision on home auto, or workers' comp GL, that we forget that this person could have a wide variety of different insurance challenges. This is just the one that they're curious about today. So you don't know if they have 10 investment properties, umbrella, a diamond ring collection, sports cars, race cars, RVs, motorcycles. You don't know unless we ask that question. And I think it's so important to cross-sell that when we have a breadth of what they have in their portfolio, it definitely helps. It also helps us understand they have a pain point now with this one policy, but what's their second biggest pain point and how can we make that work for them? So I want to encourage us all not to just think about home and auto, but I want us all to be thinking about this one question, which is, other than the policy that we're speaking about, do you have any other policies with other insurance agents? And let's crack that open to commercial, life, health, all of the items that might make a big difference in your sale. So that's our tip for today. Stay tuned because we'll have 3 more tips coming each day of just one question you should insert into your new business sales process in insurance. See you soon. All right, sales question number 2. which is, other than price, how will you be making your final insurance sales decision? Again, love this question because we're going to cough up how they're thinking. Are they going to talk to their spouse? Are they getting other quotes? What is their process? Because once we give over price, we lose control. And then we start asking these questions only out of desperation because we don't think we're getting that sale. So let's hit the rewind button, ask that question up front so you as a salesperson have the most knowledge of how fast you need to quote it and where their mind is at before we go into underwriting.
So welcome back. We're now on the second sales question of 4 that you should be asking before you get into any underwriting questions. Remember, our goal is to be sales professionals first in insurance versus quoting and then selling. That's what makes us used car salesmen. So if we're setting the stage and we're building the rules of the road, here's another question we need to be asking again before we dive into year, make, model, payroll, employees, all that fun stuff. This one is, why are you shopping today? Which you might already ask and you're like, that's not revolutionary. Let the person respond. If they say price, I want you to respond with this next question, which is, great, other than price, how will you be selecting your insurance agent? And then I want you to zip it, be silent, do not speak, don't say a word, because here's the reality. If you speak, you're gonna dive in with an answer. This is a question they're probably not expecting, and that's okay. Give them a moment to talk about what's important to them. This could be service, claims, coverage. But when you ask an open-ended question like that, you are going to be able to say, if you're close in price, that this is the difference that you're going to get. So we often in insurance lose over dollars, right? Maybe save someone $50, $100 here or there. We lose those deals because it's not enough motivation to switch. But when we know that, we can sell them and educate them on the other things we do for clients. So it's really important. The question is, how are you, let me back up here. Why are you shopping today? And you're going to get the answers of price, service, life change, or an other, right? And then if they say price, other than price, what's important to you in selecting your agent? And then zip it. Open-ended question, let them tell you what's important so you can share with them how you solve that problem that they may have. So at the end of the day, I want everybody thinking not just about, okay, I've got to go beat this price, but other than price. Because if they have that second pain point, we want to know. Many people start shopping on price, but it's not the straw that breaks the camel's back. It's rates have gone up 4 or 5 years in a row and no one's called me. You know, we had that claim that wasn't covered a few years ago. I wasn't happy about that. Or I don't even know who my agent is. And so when you're asking them, you know, how are you going to be selecting your agent? It's really critical because they may never have had an agent before. So you're asking them a question that's something they've never experienced. So just our tip, again, why I can't speak on this video apparently. Why are you shopping today? And then if price, other than price, what's important to you in selecting your agent, and listen to those responses to help craft your proposal to your dream client. So one of the things that's always driven me nuts about being in the insurance space was that ever since I was 18, I heard the same thing. I'm so busy. And in over 20 years, no one's been able to solve that problem until now. I'm going to help your agency move from busy to productive and find more time in your day to reduce stress and improve your client's experience. Because you see your team running around all day and they seem stressed and overwhelmed. Every day for years, you've been hearing how busy people are, just like I was. But the phone records and activities tell a different story some days. You aren't sure what to do. You don't want your team feeling this way, right? What almost no agency understands is how to move their team from busy to productive and find minutes that add up to hours in their day. It's not just focusing on more people, it's making the people you have more productive. This can all happen when your agency has a plan to manage time and training with the right approach. So if you're tired of hearing how busy everyone is, but no one seems to have a plan except to hire more people, do you ask how you can help your team and they just give you that stare? I don't know, I'm just so busy. Your agency needs a different approach that engages the team and gives them a clear plan with expectations. This helps the agency embrace a time management strategy that simplifies everything, empowers everyone to succeed. This, of course, changes everything. So if you're sitting at team meetings with more questions than answers, and you're excited to bring new ideas to the agency, but it's always met with resistance, and the team is always saying how busy they are, but no one has a plan, including you, the leader, you may have something on your mind. And that's what we did. We had something on our mind, and we created Apex Time Management. Apex Time Management is actually a 6-month program that I personally install into agencies, but it was time for a remodel. And part of that remodel is we're going to be selling it for one time only for 2 weeks as a standalone course in our online university, so you can empower your team to do it directly, right away, right now. We of course included in our agency performance pack, which is a subscription for training. So if you want that and retention and sales and how to reduce remarketing, as well as new courses every quarter, we got you covered. But there's no sense in dilly-dallying. Let's go ahead and get to our website, agencyperformancepartners.com, where you can check out the new Apex Time Management Performance Pack. And while you're there, check out our shop. What's going to hurt? We might just have other tips and tools. But I'm here to help you solve the problem of busy, move your team to productive, all with online training that is interactive and makes a big difference when applied. So, who wants to get started? We're doing it at 20% off until the end of April 2021. So, get started, give us a call. We'd love to help you move from busy to productive.
This next question is another way to identify cross-selling without asking, can I quote your? We know when he's used the word quote, people feel that that's a sales question and they shirk down a lot. So instead, what we want to do is say, can I investigate all the discounts you qualify for? Now that's a back-end way to say, I want to meet your needs. You want to save some money. I want to get you a competitive price. And they've just given you permission to do your job. When you ask, can I quote, it's easy to get a no, and it's harder to pivot into why. So just get their permission at a high level. And then if they stop you and say, well, why do you need this? Well, I wanted to investigate all the discounts you qualify for. And part of that is seeing your whole portfolio and how we can bundle some things together. I just want to present that option. So what kind of car do you drive? You need to get good and fluid on those. So let's go ahead and watch that video.
So here's our third of 4 sales tips, the sales questions we should be asking before quoting. And this one I love, because we know from our secret shopper calls that 50% of the people we secret shopped made it an order. So the client would call and say, I'm buying this house. They deliver a quote on that home. Don't ask about other policies. When we know that cross-selling at the point of sale is a great way to be competitive for cost savings, but also because it helps us on our end have a better client, we need to find ways to get that information. So one question we love asking is, would you like me to work to find all the discounts you qualify for? So this is a reversal of, can I quote your auto? Or have you heard about multi-lining? If I combine the two, you're really talking at the person as opposed to engaging them. When you ask them a more direct question that's high level, not directly, can I quote your, you're engaging them in the scenario of, would you like me to look for all the discounts you qualify for? Now, one, who's going to say no to that, right? It's a question we know the answer to. Second of all, at the end of the day, what we want to be doing is showing people options. And when we can get them to engage in options, they can make a choice that's best for their family. But if you ask, can I quote your auto, you can get a hard no, and then it's really hard to tap dance around that. And in many ways, we're saying, okay, no problem, I'll just work on the home then. Awkward. So if they start asking questions on, your make, model, VIN, and they say, well, what do you need that for? Now you can go right back to, well, remember you asked me to look into all the discounts you qualify for. The biggest one that we have is multi-lining everything. So I was going to work up that option for you. And then that allows people the idea of, okay, it's an option. I can say yes or no to it. But honestly, once they see the numbers, generally they're going to say yes. So the biggest thing that you need to focus on is, would you like me to work to find you all the discounts you qualify for? Let them say yes, and then start collecting the information and present them what you know is in their best interest. As a licensed insurance agent, you own that right because you have worked hard to get that license and make it work. We have one more question tomorrow. We're going to be going over 4 free quoting sales questions that everybody needs to look into. So yesterday's, if you missed it, go back and watch it. We've got, this is the 3rd one, so you've got 2 ahead of it. So make sure you're spending some time on these. Building these into a call sheet is something that we really love. We do embrace quoting over the phone, but we also say, hey, you can't get all the information. There needs to be a supplemental sheet. So we really lean heavily on a fillable PDF, which is part of our Epic sales program. You can get that online or contact us if you're looking for something a little bit more robust. But you can get started with this kind of sales training in depth with your team today. Anywho, go back to being ridiculously amazing, selling insurance, and asking these key sales questions. And I can't wait to share the final one with you tomorrow.
So now we're at the final one, which is tricky. And I love asking this question because when I present what I believe they need, I want to know, am I smoking the rate? Am I coming in higher? Or am I, around that same range and I really have to sell my value? So I always like to ask, hey, what were you paying and what did your insurance renewal come in at? And why I love, love, love that question is this. When we talk about that, it's not about what are you paying. People kind of clam up thinking, why do you want that? Do you just want that so you can charge me more? So when we get that, we can kind of get a range, number one. Number two, most people, when you say, what are they paying? They're going to give you that first number that expires like Cinderella. So watch how we recommend agents ask this delicate question to get the answers you need to present your sale from a place of power versus a place of just kind of feeling like, I hope you like it. So let's talk about something I think that is super important, which is when we go into a new business transaction, we need to be finding what people were paying and what the renewal came in at if it's appropriate. Obviously, on a new purchase, it's a little different. But the reason we want to find both is that most people are stuck on that old one. But the reality is that expires like Cinderella on midnight. And we need to really be trying to beat that new one and have that conversation with people. But when you go into pitching your proposal, knowing that your rate is great, or knowing that you're close, or knowing that you're too high, it helps you structure how you're going to sell that policy. And that's why it's so important to find the information. Now, we do run into the time to time where clients don't want to give it. They think that, well, you're just going to manipulate my rate based on what I tell you. And I want to explain to you that we still need to work through that. It's critical you find out. So I want to give you a few options. The first one is to use humor. What's your insurance company getting you for these days? What did it come in at and where were you at before? And if you can kind of use humor, it lightens people up a bit. The next is you could use the Christmas Santa model, which I say, which is that Christmas movie where Santa was sending people to other agencies or department stores. Which is, hey, I understand you might not be comfortable giving it, but I don't want to waste your time if I don't think that we can be competitive. I'm pretty in tune with the markets, and I just want to make sure that we're respecting your time. Make it a play to them of what's the benefit. And the last one is if somebody's not comfortable, you can consider giving them a range, right? What's your family's budget? What are you trying to be within? Just give me a kind of a range. And range helps people feel a little bit more comfortable as well. But the bottom line is you need this information, so don't shy away from it. Ask it. The worst you get is a no, and then you can work around it. But when you go into your sale knowing how you have to pitch, because if you're close, you really have to sell your value. If you're more, you really, really have to sell your value. And you don't want to do the uncomfortable, here's your price, do you like it? You want to be confident of what you're looking at. So those are our tips. That is the fourth sales tip that we have. And today is April 15th. It's tax day, but also the day we release our brand new time management course. If you are just ready, I have been in insurance since I was 18, and let me tell you something. I'm so sick of hearing how busy we all are. Since I was 18, no one's been able to figure it out, but we have a course for your team on how we can all move from busy to productive. What are the things that we can slim down and free up our time? And what are the things we should be focusing our time on? So we have a whole online course, and you can also couple that with interactions with me as well. So watch for that. It's 30% off until the end of April. So if you're interested and your team needs time management training because we were never taught about it, let us know. We also have in there interviews with top Epic, AMS 360, and Hawksoft trainers that can give you time-saving hacks for your team right then and there. Who wouldn't want that? Anyway, go ahead and check it out. We'd love to welcome you as a new student or a new client if you want some more additional interaction. We'll see you soon. All right, that wraps up our 4 sales questions. We really hope you watch this with your team and insert it into your sales process. Because I'm sure you can see as you ask these 4 questions, it will help speed up your sale, limit objections, limit back and forth, and get you to a yes faster. Which, as we know, the more open tasks and files we have, the more bogged down we are, hurting our time management. So, in case you haven't heard, we're relaunching our time management program, and you have the option to get it in the school, where you could buy the course outright. You could go ahead and subscribe to our school, and you'll get all of our trainings, including the sales training that includes these 4 questions. Or check out our agency performance program, which is a 2-year program where we install all of this into your agency. But we want to go ahead and make sure that you're aware of all the ways that we can help your agency, and including the sales training that we just talked about today. So make sure you check it out at our website, agencyperformancepartners.com. If you've liked this podcast, please give us a review. We'd love to hear from you. And if you have any questions you want for our 3-minute videos, reach out. We're here to help you be ridiculously amazing.